In this lesson, you will learn how to add suggestions and suggestion types to inventory items. Adding suggestions to an inventory item will allow you to conveniently add related items when you place the item into a quote. Step 1. Open the inventory item that you want to add suggestions to. In this example, we will be adding suggestions to a white 16GB iPad. Step 2. Click on the Suggestions tab on the Inventory Information page. Step 3. Drag the items that you want to add as suggestions from the inventory tree into the Suggestions area. Now, every time we put this white 16GB iPad onto a quote, a window will appear and suggest the items that we have placed into this area. Notice that you can specify a quantity for each item as you drag it into the Suggestions area. Each suggested item can now be assigned to a suggestion type. A suggestion type is a group of attributes that will be applied when it is associated with a suggested item. To add a suggestion type to a suggested item, click on the pencil icon and select which suggestion type you want to apply. Notice that the power cable suggestion type is not required and will be included in the price of the parent item. The suggestion type iPad adapters has the same attributes as the power cable suggestion type. The iPad stands don't have a good suggestion type to apply to them, so let's create a new suggestion type. On the Inventory menu, click Suggestion Types. Then click New Suggestion Type in the Workbench menu. Give the new suggestion type a name and a code and notes if you want. Let's not include this in the price of the parent item. And for association type, we will choose Add as Next Sibling, which means that this item will appear on the same indentation as the parent item when you choose this suggestion on a quote. You will notice that power cable and iPad adapters are set as Add as Child. You will see how these options work when we place the items into a quote. We will apply the iPad stand suggestion type to both of the iPad stands. Now, let's go to a test quote and see how these suggestions work when we place the iPad into the quote. The suggestions window will automatically appear. Each suggestion is separated into tabs with names that correspond to the different suggestion types. Click through the tabs, choose whichever suggestions you want to add, then click Accept. Notice how the cable and adapter are indented to the right of the iPad. This means that they are the child items to the iPad. Also notice that these items are not being charged for because the suggestion type said that they should be included in the price of the parent item. The iPad stand is on the same indentation as the iPad because we set the suggestion type to Add as Next Sibling. If you want to change the order in which the suggestion tabs appear, go to the Inventory menu, click Suggestion Types, then drag and drop the suggestion types into the order that you want them to appear. If we go back to the quote and start the process over, you'll see that the tabs are now ordered differently. We have also implemented a feature called Cascading Suggestions. This means that you can navigate through suggested items that also have suggestions. To demonstrate this feature, let's open the inventory page for the tall iPad stand. Then, let's put the iPad, which we were just working with, into the suggestions area for the iPad stand. Now, if we go back to the quote and add the tall iPad stand, the suggestions window will appear with the iPad. We'll select Yes for the iPad, then go to the icon on the right-hand side of the column. When this icon is present in the column, it means that there are suggestions within this item. If we click on the icon, we will see the suggestions for the iPad, which we added earlier in the lesson. Choose which suggestions you want to add to the quote and click Accept. In the previous examples, none of the suggestions were required. You easily could have closed the suggestions window without choosing any of them. But let's see what happens when we make a suggestion type required. Let's use a large barcode projector in this example. We will add several different lenses in the suggestion area. Then, let's add a new suggestion type. We will call it Lens Required. It will not be included in the price. It will appear as a child to the projector, and it is a required suggestion. We will apply this to each suggested lens. The idea here is that you want to give different options as to which lens you could choose when building a quote, and you will be required to choose at least one. Now let's place the barcode projector into the quote. The suggestions window will appear, and you will notice that the Lens Required tab is red. This means that you must choose one of the suggested items. If you try to click Accept without choosing a suggestion, the system will inform you that you are required to choose one. You can exit this window by clicking Cancel, but you will be warned again, and the cogwheel next to the projector will be red. To resolve this, you can click on the cogwheel, click Suggestions, and make the selection. If you have any questions about suggestions and suggestion types, please email support@flexrentalsolutions.com.